Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be explaining to you all a little bit of how roller coasters work. I would say that most know about roller coasters who have been to amusement parks before, but they're usually the most expensive item in the amusement park. They usually also garner some of the highest weights and attendance of rides in those parks. So I'd like to explain to you all a little bit on how these things work so that for the satisfaction of yourself that you can feel more secure on these things. And by understanding them better, I can enhance your experience whenever you choose to get to these parks as well. And so let's start off. The first thing that people think of when they think of the roller coaster is the car that riders physically sit in. So this will be what you're waiting outside of the gate and what you stop, sit in, and buckle into. The trains sit on the track of the roller coaster in more ways than what riders might imagine. So, for example, with this being a flat surface, most people think of an automobile like a roller coaster. It has four wheels on the cars and it traverses. They both go fast. But on a roller coaster, there are two sets of wheels at the top, much like the wheels on a car. There are also two other sets of wheels, though. A set of wheels on the side of the track, and a set of wheels underneath the track. And so that's for when a roller coaster experiences high moments of force. The train is able to stay attached to the track at all times. And with those three sets of wheels on each side of the train, it shows how well riders are secured inside the vehicle. To go further, the track that the train rests on can be made out of different materials. For example, this is a piece of wood from the Rampage wooden coaster, and on a wooden coaster, these pieces of wood will be stacked up 8 layers high, and on the very top layer, a thin piece of steel will be placed on the top of it. And that stack of wood on both sides is what gives the train the structure and the stability that it needs to traverse the track in a consistent manner. And so with a steel coaster, it's slightly different, but the track is, think of like a coat hanger. It's a thin piece of aluminum that they bend and they angle in a way to create these elements. For example, a loop. You can even stretch the element a little out farther, and you begin to see a little bit more of what begins to be a corkscrew. And for steel coasters, they'll bend and twist this steel tubular track in a way to create these elements for the rider. And those elements will create force on the rider. And those kind of forces can be three different kinds. When people are regularly sitting on the ground, not on a roller coaster, they're usually experiencing 1 g of force, one gravitational force. It means that on the ground, you weigh as much as you do on Earth. However, in a roller coaster, while going through certain elements, riders can feel different kinds of forces. For example, if a ride turns to the right, a rider may feel jolted to the left. Think of pulling into a parking lot while not slowing down your car enough. Riders get subject to force in the opposite direction. Those are called lateral Gs. When the train crests a hill and riders feel weightless, it's called a negative G. And whenever riders go uphill and are pushed down, they feel heavier than they normally do. That is called a positive G. And all of these elements are what make roller coasters exciting. It's what makes every single one of them different. And the last and most important thing about the roller coasters is how you come to a stop. Every roller coaster is equipped with a set of brakes. However, there are different kinds of brakes. Most brakes today occur between two magnetic pads with a fin underneath the train. And as this train comes into contact with the loading station, these brakes will hydraulically pinch and grab the fins on the bottom of the train to slow them down as they are coming to a stop. And all of those elements together are kind of what makes a roller coaster exciting. It's a good example of how things work, and I encourage you all to look farther into these things for yourself. Thank you.